Hello, this is Susan, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Happy 4th of July! Fireworks, festivals, Ziggy Marley, and a whole lot more. Happy 4th of July, Buffalo. From the Buffalo Rising. Hopefully, you and yours will get out to see some firework shows. We have included two great options. One at Terminal B with the BPO and one at Darien Lake. Go and make sure the start of your summer is explosive. This guide is like a 4th of July barbecue. It is hot, fulfilling, and overstuffed with goodies, and has a little something for everyone. See Ziggy Marley at Art Park. Learn Balinese, Gamelan, or get your GTL on with Vinny G at Helium Comedy Club, or take one final spin on the Skyride. And from our last roundup, free outdoor Shakespeare is happening in Delaware Park, and you can bring your own chair or blanket or reserve a chair from the company for a $25 donation. Call 716-856-4533 or email mgmt at shakespeareinDelawarePark.org. We'll see you out and about in Buffalo. Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, Terminal B, Buffalo Outer Harbor, 850 Furman Boulevard, July 3rd at 7:30. Tickets are free. Led by Joanne Falletta with vocalist Cami Clooney, the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra presents a patriotic America 250 concert at Buffalo's Outer Harbor, featuring orchestral favorites, and concludes with fireworks over Lake Erie. General admission is free, and VIP tickets are available. July 4th celebration at Six Flags Darien Lake at 9993 Allegheny Road, Corfu, New York. July 4th at 9:30 p.m. $35 tickets, and celebrate the 4th of July at Six Flags Darien Lake's Star Spangled Night. Enjoy a full day of excitement from heart-pounding coasters to water rides, capped off by an explosive nighttime show lighting up the summer sky. How about a night of Joni Mitchell? It's at Electric City, 433 Pearl Street, July 9th. Doors open 7:30 p.m. and the tickets are $34.98. Hajira is a 7-piece tribute band celebrating the music of Joni Mitchell and a focus on her acclaimed albums from Court and Spark through Wild Things Run Fast. The group performs many of Mitchell's most beloved songs, including A Case for You, Help Me, Free Man in Paris, and the title track from Hajira. Vinny G is at the Helium Comedy Club, 30 Mississippi Street, July 10th, 11th, 12th, and the tickets are $40.04. Vinny Guadagnino, known for MTV's Jersey Shore, brings his stand-up comedy tour, blending pop culture, jokes, and storytelling to Buffalo for free hot nights. Please note In addition to the 2-item minimum, there will be an 18% administrative fee in the showroom. Then we have the Taste of Buffalo, Delaware Avenue in Niagara Square. It's July 11th, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and July 12th, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Taste of Buffalo, presented by Tops, is one of the largest 2-day food festivals in the United States, celebrating its 43rd year in 2026, with support from an all-volunteer board and around 1,000 volunteers. Food and beverage tickets sold in $7 sheets of 10 can be purchased throughout the festival, with food items priced between 4 and 10 tickets. Ziggy Marley Brightside Tour 2026, Art Park Amphitheater at 450 South 4th Street, Lewiston, New York, July 11th at 7 p.m. $35 through $66 are the tickets. The ticket price. 9-time Grammy winner Ziggy Marley brings his genre-blending reggae sound to the stage at Art Park, drawing on a nearly 40-year career as a musician and activist. His music combines uplifting messages of love and social consciousness with influences from funk, blues, and rock. Intro to Balinese Gamelan, Nusantara Arts Culture Theater at 490 Lafayette Avenue, July 12th through August 16th, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. and also 8 p.m. Registration is required. Discover Buffalo's only Balinese Gamelan program in the 6-week hands-on course exploring one of the world's oldest music traditions. Participants will learn traditional instruments while experiencing the rich rhythms and collaborative spirit of the Balinese Gamelan. The last sky ride ever. Terminal B at Buffalo Outer Harbor, 850 Furman Boulevard at July 19th at 7:45 a.m. $50 registration. Skyride concludes its run as an annual community bike ride hosted by Go Bike Buffalo, offering a once-in-a-lifetime chance to ride car-free along Buffalo's Skyway and major expressways. The event has supported Go Bike Buffalo's adversary and Education Week to expand safe, accessible biking and transportation across Western New York. 10,000 Maniacs, the 45th anniversary concert and arts festival. Regla Center for the Arts at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701, September 5th at 7:30. Tickets are $49 through $82, and this event is sure to sell out, so we are including it now to guarantee you have access to tickets. 10,000 Maniacs return to Jamestown for a special concert celebrating 45 years of music, honoring their legacy while supporting causes connected to music, education, community, and the arts in Western New York. Next, we have an article. This is under development. Infilling state funding secured for 40 single-family homes. Governor Kathy Hochul announced the third round of awards for the innovative Move-In New York program. More than $20 million was awarded to create 68 new affordable homes in the city of Buffalo and Niagara Falls. The city of Buffalo was awarded $12 million for 40 homes, and Niagara Falls Neighborhood Housing Services was awarded nearly $8.5 million for 28 homes. Far too many families, home ownership is out of reach, which is why I created the Move-In New York program, Governor Hochul says. Move-In New York cuts the cost of housing production and brings these much-needed homes to market quickly and affordably. The Move-In program, administered by New York State Homes and Community Renewal, or HCR, harnesses the benefits of prefabricated homes to quickly build more affordable starter homes in communities throughout New York. The factory-built homes used in the Move-In New York program can be constructed quickly and economically and at a large scale. Referred to as cross mods, these homes resemble traditionally constructed homes and can be integrated at all types of housing markets, including urban, suburban, and rural communities. The Move-In New York funding, which is awarded to municipalities, land banks, and nonprofits through a competitive process, will be used to purchase and site prefabricated cross-mod homes. Once sited, the homes will be sold for less than the cost of construction to low and moderate income home buyers. As part of her 2025 State of the State, Governor Hochul proposed using innovative approaches to home building to catalyze the construction of starter homes and help create more opportunities for affordable home ownership. In 2025, New York State Homes and Community Renewal, the HCR, successfully piloted the Move-In program with the creation of 3 new starter homes in the cities of Schenectady and Syracuse, as well as the town of Newcomb in Syracuse. The state funded the difference between the total development costs, around $300,000 a house, and the sale price, $175,000 to $250,000, depending on the owner's income. The Greater Syracuse Land Bank is building 52 homes under the program. The 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, which include a porch and an attached or detached garage, were manufactured in a factory and then sited on vacant land. The homes were constructed and sited within 6 months, which is up to 3 times faster and for half the cost of comparably sized homes built using traditional construction methods. Homes are on placed slabs to save on construction time and costs. The program was subsequently expanded statewide through an open competitive request for applications issued in the fall of 2025 that encouraged interested local governments, land banks, nonprofit housing developers, and home manufacturers to apply to participate. Move-In New York is funded by $50 million that Governor Hochul secured in the FY 2025-26 enacted state budget. The governor secured an additional $100 million in the fiscal year 2026-27 enacted budget to support further expansion of the Move-In program as well as the continued exploration of innovative, emerging factory-built and modular construction technologies. Buffalo Mayor Sean Ryan said, "For too many families, the dream of owning a home feels increasingly out of reach. The Move In New York program is helping create quality, affordable homes that families can actually afford to buy while transforming vacant land into new opportunities for neighborhood growth. These 40 homes will help more Buffalo residents achieve ownership and build generational wealth right here in our city." In April, the town of Tonawanda was awarded over $6 million for 20 homes, and in May, the Lackawanna Housing Development Corporation was awarded $2,420,000 for 8 homes. Homes must be sold to households between 60 to 130 AMI, depending on the market. The program provides a subsidy to assist lower-income homeowners or to overcome an appraisal gap in soft marks will be offered by forgiving a portion of the loan. Homes cited through Move In New York are also subject to a 10-year resale restriction based on homebuyer income via a note and mortgage and a restrictive covenant recorded against the property. Details on who will be administering the program, overseeing the construction of the homes, and their locations has not been announced. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Next, we have an article called Kickstarter, Bring Back the Blizzard of '77 Travel Game. As the 50th anniversary of the Blizzard of '77 draws near, an effort is underway to resurrect the infamous board game that was co-created by graphic artist Chuck P. Marino and his wife Donna. It was Chuck who initially got stranded in his car and then at a firehouse for days on end that came up for the idea of the game. Apparently, when he finally made his way home, he found that his son had been playing with some toy cars and a piece of cardboard in a playful blizzard-like scenario. Seeing this, Chuck was struck with the idea to create the board game that would go on to sell 40,000 plus copies regionally. Fast forward almost 50 years, Paul Marino, the child that inspired his father to create the Blizzard of '77 travel game, is now attempting to get the board game back into production. In a Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign, he posted, "My dad, Chuck Marino, was making his way home from a sales call in the southern tier when the blizzard hit. Driving northbound along the thruway near the Irving Silver Creek exit, he came upon stranded motorists, people who had nowhere to go. He didn't keep driving, he stopped to help. Gathering up the stranded motorists, Dad joined others in driving a small group of Western New Yorkers to safety at a nearby Irving, New York fire station, and for 2 days they stayed there together, sharing stories, playing card games, and finding ways to pass the time in the middle of uncertainty. While it's sad to learn that Chuck passed away a few years back, his memory lives on the board game that he helped to create as a way to memorialize the blizzard, as well as the selfless rescue attempts of the residents of the City of Good Neighbors. now, Donna, Paul, and his wife Lori are in the process of bringing a limited edition run of the game back to life. The game will include carefully restored original artwork, retaining the fun of the original game playing experience, special 50th anniversary branding and design elements, and premium upgraded components and materials. Anyone that contributes $40 toward the Kickstarter campaign will receive one 50th anniversary edition of the Blizzard of 77 travel game. The project will only be funded if it reaches its goal by June 15, 2026. If the goal is reached, the funds will be processed with the game's estimated delivery by November 26th. Created as a true anniversary piece, this edition is designed to stand out for collectors, for families, and for anyone connected to the story. I've spent my career in customer service, operations, and strategy, bringing concepts to life. The project brings that experience together with something far more meaningful, preserving a legacy and sharing a story that deserves to be retold. What started on the impassable New York State Thruway, sparked by my playing with a toy car on a piece of cardboard, on our living room floor, is coming back to nearly 50 years later. And we'd love for you to be part of it. As far as the game goes, race through the city in this fast-moving, family-friendly adventure where every turn can change the game. Players choose their car-shaped pawn and set out for the bright, sunny side of the board, navigating the streets to complete 5 everyday errands before racing back home. Movement is simple. Roll the dice and go. But strategy comes into play as vehicles must follow the direction they're facing, turning only at intersections or key stops. Along the way, landing on weather spaces introduces surprises that can help or hinder your progress, keeping every player engaged and on their toes. But the real twist, and what makes the game truly unique, comes when the blizzard strikes. In an instant, the entire board flips to reveal a dramatically different game world. The calm city transforms into a snow-covered challenge with drifts, delays, and obstacles at nearly every turn. Players must adapt quickly as conditions worsen, navigating a completely reimagined board where progress is harder and risks are higher and every move matters. With its dynamic two-sided board, evolving gameplay, and a perfect blend of nostalgia and excitement, every playthrough delivers a fresh, memorable experience for friends and family alike. Next, we have a done deal. 684 through 692 Grant Street. 2 properties on Grant Street have been purchased by a nonprofit public charity affiliated with Buffalo State University. BSCR Corporation paid $315,000 for a residence and vacant lot at 684 and 692 Grant Street. Grant Street Station LLC was the seller. Established in 2001, BSCR was formed and can accept gifts of real property on behalf of the college, support campus expansion, and facilitate local development incentives. Campus expansion is not expected anytime soon. Buffalo State is facing $16.2 million structural deficit driven by a long-term enrollment decline and past Great Recession era cuts. The university is executing the framework for fiscal stability, which entails academic program deactivations, hiring freezes, and workforce optimization to establish and to subsidize its budget by 2028. The university has long-eyed properties west of Grand Street for expansion. In 2019, the university was named designated developer of the City of Buffalo Auto Impound site at 166 through 170 Dart Street, adjacent to the Scojaquada Expressway. Firm plans were never announced for the site, but their 2013 facilities master plan called for a new campus maintenance center, a parking ramp, a campus hub combining housing and academic uses was shown on the property west of Grant and north of Letchworth Street. Sometimes the authors at Buffalo Rising work on collaborative efforts in order to cover various events and stories. These posts cannot be attributed to one single author, as it is a combined effort. Other times, a formation of a post gets started by one writer and is passed along to one or more writers before completion. At times, there are author attributions at the end of one of these posts. Other times, Buffalo Rising is simply offered as the creator of the article. In either case, the writing is original to Buffalo Rising. Now open the Reserve Steakhouse. Buffalo's very own chef Darian Bryan has opened the doors to his latest culinary creation, Reserve Steakhouse. Located at the former Eccles in Larkinville, Reserve Steakhouse is exactly what a steak lover would come to expect from such a stepped-up setting. The restaurant is sophisticated, luxurious, and very happening. A friend of mine and I stopped in to have a drink and a bite at the bar, which was a real eye-opener at Chef Darian's world. When we arrived, it was still light out, and we valeted the car and headed through stately front doors and were greeted by the hostess. She led us down a hallway. Perusing the menu, we decided to stick with a couple of cocktail selections, and we also ordered a couple of appetizers, the Valley Pearl Prince Edward Island oysters and a steak tartare. Other selections were half chickens and more. We sipped our cocktails. This week, Reserve is operating at full tilt, and according to Chef Darian's successes with Jerk Hut and Brad's Hill, Reserve Steakhouse is another level of culinary success for the top chef. If you'd like to hear more about this, you can contact the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. You've been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Rising on Fridays at 8:30, and your reader has been Susan, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service with broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Radio readings are broadcast 24 hours a day, every day, to area people who are blind or have a print disability. This year, our agency marks almost 40 years on the air with more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service website is nfradioreading.org. For more information, call 716-821-5555.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or another print disability that may